Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. This is my esoteric journey where I am consistently learning progress over perfection. If you can believe that you have power over your own life, you too can realize that the universe is helping you progress on your own journey. Each day moving forward is more important than the end result. I believe we are all on a journey, and to me, astrology helps use the energies that are in our surrounding world, and each day that we can learn something more about ourselves, about our environment, and about our energies in that environment, I believe it will help us through anything that you go through. I, for one, know that I have had a stressful couple of months. Our family was in a car accident, unfortunately. We were perfectly fine, but that was pretty traumatic. And then I changed careers and changed jobs, and I have wanted to be in astrology for a while. I would say probably over the past 10-15 years, and readings from intuitives and from astrologers, and many of them have said that in my chart I am a sun Scorpio and a moon Scorpio. So sun and moon Scorpio, and my rising or my ascendant sign is Aquarius. So I've always had a teaching quality, I've been told about me. I never really realized that, but I do think that I enjoy learning new things, and I feel like astrology is one of the few things that I've really taken on over these past 10 years, and now I'm ready to unleash it to the world. So the reason why I'm launching this video and this channel on April 5th, 2019 is because it is the new moon in Aries. I really liked the kind of like the highlights of what is going to be helpful for us and what things we need to watch out for. So this new moon on April 5th, 2019 is all about new beginnings, new ideas to start, and it's really good for starting new initiatives. So there you go. I'm starting my channel. I'm getting out there to the world. This is my new initiative. So I think it's really exciting because Aries is that sign of the ram, and it is the first astrological sign. The thing about Aries is that it really wants you to hone your craft. It wants you to show up in new ways. So think of Aries as a young child who is excited to start something new, start an adventure, energetic, but I would say lower vibrations of Aries is that it can be very impulsive, it can be very naive, and sometimes it doesn't think through things all the way. A new moon is when the moon is actually dark from here on Earth, where we cannot see it, and the moon is actually taking in all of its energies, and it's actually recharging for its next cycle. So this new moon coming up on April 5th is asking you to go within and find out what is it in your world that you want to start new. What parts of your world have you been maybe thinking about, kind of like me in this channel? What have you been thinking about but maybe didn't know where to start, where to begin? So this new moon is really asking you to step into the enlightenment of this new astrological time. The Aries new moon really wants you to think of a fresh way to reinvent yourself. Aries is the first fire cardinal sign of the zodiac, and so it's all about taking action, being independent, and really honing your craft. So for me, I thought a great place to start would be with one of my favorite tarot decks. And this is actually my first tarot deck that I've ever had that is more based all off of mythical goddesses. And it's called the Mythical Goddess Tarot, from Sage Holloway as the author and Catherine Skaggs as the artist. And what I love about this tarot deck is that it really is very colorful, And what it does is it has the 4 signs for the elements. So fire, earth, wind, and sea. And then those actually correspond to the 4 different suits in, if you're familiar with the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, it refers to fire, refers to wands, earth refers to coins or pentacles, wind refers to swords, and the sea refers to cups. So what is great about tarot is that you can learn different parts about your world around you through the different elements that are represented. So fire and wands have to do with your passions, things that really, get you fired up, and what things that you really enjoy doing. They can be negative or positive, or we say higher and lower energies. Wind or swords in the Rider-Waite deck has to do more with things in your mind, things that you think about, things that are mind related. So it can be anything from, emotional type mindset, or it can be about, having different type of thinking towards things. So that's what wind has to do with. Earth is related to pentacles or coins, and this is anything in our earthly world. So this can be your home, your work, anything around you that is your physical presence. It can be money, it can be resources. So that is what earth represents. And then lastly is seas. And in this deck, seas is representing cups. Cups can be water, emotional, anything that in your mind that you think about that has to do with emotional contact. So this can be with others, this can be with yourself. So what I like to do is today, since we are all about the new moon in Aries, let's see what the cards and what the Mythical Goddess Tarot has to say. Okay, so I think before we shuffle, I'm going to show you the Rider-Waite deck, because I realize that I probably should show you what most tarot decks are based off of. So this is called Rider-Waite Tarot deck, and basically those are the authors and the artists, and these are the traditional tarot cards. And like I said, in another video, we'll get into what the different ones mean, what they represent. There's so much symbology in the tarot, and that's why I think I enjoy it. They actually used to be used as playing cards. And in modern day now, we have artists and all different type of authors who make their own versions of the tarot. But I wanted to show you how the major arcana in the deck that I was speaking of with the Mythical Goddess, these purple cards represent major themes or the major arcana. So here's an example of the major arcana in the Rider-Waite deck, which is, this is the Tower card, and then this Mother Mary is 13. So that corresponds to another card. But I wanted to show you that these are the major themes. And then remember I said there's 4 suits. So seas represents cups. So here's an example of the 10 of Cups in the Rider-Waite deck. And I'm just gonna put these here. And it's just so that you can see that as I use different decks on this channel, you'll know that they're all based off of the Rider-Waite deck. The Earth, which is, remember, the Pentacles, or represents anything physical in your world. So this King of Pentacles is from the Rider-Waite. So Earth, Pentacles, Seas, Cups. Fire represents wands in the Rider-Waite deck. So you can see here, fire, fire and wands. And then lastly is wind, and wind actually represents swords. So you can see here's the 2 of Swords and this is the 10 of Wind in the Mythical Goddess Tarot. So I just wanted to show you that so you can see. Let me scoot them up so you can see everything, and everything's in the frame. So you can see that all of these, maybe I should move the camera back just a little so you can see it all. So you can see that they all kind of have their place. So now we're going to take and we're going to shuffle the Mythical Goddess Tarot and take out the Rider-Waite deck for today. And what I like about the Mythical Goddess Tarot is that it is all based on the divine feminine. And if you think about the moon and you think about the new moon, moon always relates to our feminine energies or how we feel inside, while the sun relates more to male, masculine energies. Each of us have masculine and feminine energies inside of us. So I thought this Mythical Goddess Tarot was a good one to use because it's all about the divine feminine. And so with the new moon coming up, I thought it would be great to pull some cards and let's do a reading. And we're going to actually do the Yoni spread, a basic spread for specific answers, and it is great for beginners. The spiral spread and double helix spread that are later on in this booklet, you can do on your own. And what I like to do is I like to show what other spreads you can do, because I think that if you want to purchase your own, definitely get one that you enjoy looking at the pictures. This one I think has gorgeous artwork, and I think that, you know, in this new moon, why not try something new? Why not try something different? So today we're going to just shuffle the cards, and what I ask you to do is think of something that you've been maybe contemplating, whether it's work, whether it's health related, family related, a hobby that you've wanted to start. This new moon is asking you to plant seeds of intention. So I think that it's always a good practice under each moon cycle, which happens approximately every 2 weeks. When we go into a new moon, it's time to go within and think to yourself, what is it that I would like to start? What would I like to initiate? Or what am I just thinking about? It can be anything from, maybe I'd like to take a trip this year. Maybe I would like to, start that gardening, that rose garden that I never started. There's just so many things to think about. And I think for me personally, I've gone through quite a journey over the past years, not only from a growth standpoint, but just a spiritual standpoint. So I think that it's always nice to think about where you would like to grow in your world. All right, so let's shuffle the cards. And think of a question that you would like answered. Ask something like, is it time for me to start a new health plan? Or it can be something as, I'm not really liking my job. Is it time for me, is this new moon in Aries time for me to start looking for something else? Like, these are all the different type of questions you can ask. And of course, everyone is different. Everyone has their own place in this world in terms of the journey that you're on. So let's take and cut the deck and let's figure out what type of energies we're working with. Like I said, I'm going to do a Yoni spread. So this is card 1, card 2, and card 3. All right. So in this Yoni spread, like I said, this is great for beginners. And in tarot, each place has its own meaning, as well as the card, but also where it sits in the reading. So here, this is going to be placement 1, and this is the situation as it really exists, beyond appearances. So this card is white buffalo calf woman, and 11 is sacred fire. So we can see that this obviously is purple, and that's a major arcana. So this is going to be a major theme that is going on with us. So what I like to do is use the book that the author actually gave you with the deck. And that's why I like this, because it's like, you don't have to know all of you don't have to memorize all the different meanings and everything. I like to use the book because they actually wrote it. So they can actually tell you exactly what it is. And I'm going to try and place it so you can see it a little better. So beautiful white buffalo calf woman embodies the passion of sacred fire, the Native American Holy One who teaches humankind to revere spirit through the honoring of Mother Earth. Appearing over the horizon to two young native men, white buffalo calf woman came to earth in a pillar of light. So you can see how it has the sun, it has the calf. I like how she's holding this peace pipe. It says her unwavering reverence for the sacred teaches the honoring of all life and the flame of life within through sacred ritual. So I think this is interesting coming into the new moon, because it says white buffalo calf woman brings the fire of spirit to you through her strength and courage, showing you that through the control over your hidden demons and reverence for the sacred, you honor and align with your essence and bring light to the darkness of the world. So I think that is a great way to start this new moon, right? Like, what areas of your life could you be maybe holding back on? Or what parts of your life have you not really given yourself enough time to really come into thinking through and also understanding like how the sacred parts of you maybe have been ignored? And I think that that's what the great thing about a new moon is, because it gives you an opportunity to reset, recalibrate yourself, and actually come into your own, like this white buffalo calf woman. I think also in astrology, what we often don't realize is that the energies out there are already there for us. We just have to tap into them. And so what I like about tarot cards is that they kind of help you realize that, oh, I don't have to go through this, completely alone. There are energies out there that I just have to meditate or, almost be still and just consciously think of new ways to go about things. So I think that this sacred fire is great, because it basically is saying to honor and align with your essence and bring light to the darkness of the world. So I think that's really beautiful, and I think it's a great way to start this new cycle of the astrological year, because Aries really does embody that, planting of seeds, starting from new, so that in the fall, we'll be able to harvest whatever we began now. So the next one is going to be the course of action. So this is number 2, course of action that spirit suggests. Now, spirit can be anything that you personally believe in. And let me hold that a little closer so you can see C. Let me turn it. So C's is going to be relating to cups in the Rider-Waite. So that has to do with emotions. And you can see 9 is joy. And in the tarot, everything has symbolism. So the 9 is usually almost coming to a completion point. So in order for you to actually begin something new, you actually have to end something old, right? So I like how in this card, you can see this woman on her dolphin and she is happy, happy, happy. And I like how it's for joy. So in the 2, it's saying this is the course of action you should take. I think sometimes when we think of new beginnings, we always are thinking it has to be really stressful. And we think that it has to be something that we, hem and haw over, and we have to write all these checklists, and we have to, how about just have fun with it? You know what I mean? How about just bring the joy out of it? And I think that's something that, especially as adults, we often forget. And I think that's one reason why I wanted to make my Scorpio Soul Time channel, is because this is supposed to be fun. Like, life is not supposed to be stressful every day. It's not supposed to be hard every day, right? So that's why I made this channel, because I really feel like the progress over perfection is just like the epitome of all of our lives. As long as you can get one step further than the day before, that's all that matters. So I love that this joy came up, because it definitely is telling you that Spirit wants you to have fun. So once you have sat and thought about, you know, your sacred fire and how you're going to start something new this new moon period, then have fun with it. You know, pick something that you really enjoy. If you don't really love exercising, maybe you and some neighbors start walking around the pond at night, or maybe you all agree together to go take a dance class where you all have fun together, where you don't feel like you're exercising. That's what I do. I love going to dance classes, because I feel like between the music and you're with friends, and you really kind of forget that, oh yeah, and I'm sweating too. So I think that this joy is a great way to get your ideas flowing for this new moon in Aries. So lastly, this is the outcome. And you can see that this outcome card is this crow woman. And if you look at her closely, it's kind of interesting, right? How her face is half crow and half woman. And you can see that since this is a purple card, the number is, it looks like 8. So once we start learning more about the tarot, you'll realize that all the numbers have meaning. The colors have meaning. There's just so many different symbology in the cards. And so you can see here, there's this crow, and it says Sacred Law Crow Woman. Crow woman of Native America is the guardian of sacred law, wielding true justice and the highest principles of right and wrong. All right, so Crow Woman, as you can see, is in our outcome spot. And so let's see, it says number 8. So sacred law, and you can see how this is a Crow woman of Native America is the guardian of sacred law, wielding true justice and the highest principles of right and wrong. Crow is the creator of the world, and her domain is the great void from which all is conceived and kept inviolate. The eye of the crow is the interdimensional gateway to the silence and the great mystery. How awesome is that? Crow is objective, her reason pure and unswayed by emotional flux. Her form is multidimensional, and as a gatekeeper to other worlds, she navigates the worldly chaos with non-attachment and objectivity. Oh, I love that. So, I mean, basically, this is you. This is you coming into your own. This is you creating what you envisioned here at the beginning when you're planting your seeds. It says, through Crow Woman's equilibrium and attunement to perfect order, you are shown to respect your genuine essence in alignment with your highest understanding of sacred truth. Crow teaches you to honor your boundaries and trust the creative void from which all the solutions to your problems dwell. Whatever question you asked at the beginning when we did our yoni spread, this should be able to help you plant those seeds this new moon in Aries. And it's a 2-week period. So, I mean, you don't have to do it all on Friday on April 5th, but think through what we just talked about, from, creating your sacred fire, but having fun as you do it, to you really embodying sacred law and coming up with what you want to come to fruition in this next new moon cycle. Well, what I love about, this cycle is that it gives us an opportunity to be young and think through things again. And I think that's the fun with the joy card, is because Aries really is that young energy. So get out there and think of new things, you know, be brave. I know starting a YouTube channel was not what I was thinking I would be doing a few months ago, but I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great outlet for me. I'm very much a social person, so I think that this is really going to be a great way for me to learn new things about myself, learn more about astrology and tarot, learn more about you all. And I'm excited about the upcoming videos as I get better and I don't fumble around so much, but I'm really excited to take on this journey with you. Moon in Aries, it may not be the best time to be signing any huge contracts or creating any huge big life decisions, meaning like similar to a child or a teenager who just gets their driver's license. Yeah, you're excited to start, you know, learning how to drive, but you might not be ready to, you know, drive in New York City. So same thing with this Aries energy. Use it to cultivate and plant new seeds of intention, but don't use it to make too big of decisions that you can't, you know, change later on. Because remember, this energy is ever changing. Have fun with it. This is a time for you to really own yourself, get excited about something new, plant those seeds of intention, and I thank you for joining me on Scorpio Soul Time, where we are always working on progress over perfection. Thank you and have a great day, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. If you have any suggestions on how this channel can be improved, what you would like to learn about, I'd appreciate you commenting in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, I would love if you would subscribe to it. I would love if you would like it and share it with your friends. In the upcoming weeks and months, I'm going to really try to not only grow the channel, but I'm really interested in making this informative for you and for me.